Okay, so this is the non-natural boundary case, right? So this is very simple. IP address is given, and then there's a subnet mask, right? And then I ask you, what is the last usable host IP address, right? So the first, right? Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Let me just write down the question. Okay, so 172, right? So what is given, right? No, let me just use a new page. Okay, so this is, by the way, this is non-natural boundary case. So if you look at the problem, the IP address and subnet mask is given, right? 172.1.16.0. So I know that it's 172.16. Oops, sorry, it's 1 dot, sorry. It's a 1 dot, right? And 16.0. And subnet mask, right? And the subnet mask is 255. So we don't have to really worry about this because it's 1111 all the way to 1, right? And then there's another 255, right? But now the next one is a little bit tricky because it's 240. Before this class, right, if everything is classful, you know, we really cannot see this in the subnet mask, right? But now we are talking about non-natural boundary case, right? Non-natural boundary case, right? We know that now we can have a subnet mask like this. Does not have to be right ends at the octa, you know, that natural boundary 8, 16, 24, right? So the best way to solve this is like I know that this is 255, which is 1111 and 1111, right? And we have to convert 240 to a binary. So this is something that we need to be more. This third octet is the one we have to pay attention to. Okay, so now 240, right? Oops. So if you convert 240 to binary, we know that this is like 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? And then the 0. Okay, so this is this third octet. As you can see, it's the important. So we know that we can draw the boundary, right? Boundary at that point, because that's like, okay, so let me just draw the line here, right? So we know that this is what? This is a network portion, and then this is what? This is the host portions, right? Because this is subnet mask. You know, subnet mask tells you where we can draw this line, right? This boundary. So left side is network side, and right side host portion. Okay, now 16, right? Let's say if you convert to 16, what, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, right? And then what, 32, 64, 128, right? So the 16 means 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So let me just change 16 to the binary, okay? So 16 is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, right? So that's the 16. Oops. So 0, 1, 2, okay, 0, 0, right? And then here's a 1. So 1, right? And then 4, 0. So 0, 0, 0, 0, dot. And then 0. So that's like, you know, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. So from here, right? From this, we can draw the IP table, right? The first one, very first one is 172.1 dot. By the way, this is dot. Here's a dot, right? And then dot. And then I'm gonna just write this as it is, 0, 0, 0, 1, right? and then the rest of them is 0. Okay, so this is what? This is a network address, right? Okay, so there's a couple of definitions about the network address. Network address is the very first address in the IP table, right? Or you can think this is like network address is, always have, all zeros. As you can see, this is all 0, right? All zeros in the host portion. There's like another definition for the network address. If you look at the network address, you see all the host portion is all 0, right? Okay, and then what is the next one? 172.1 dot. Okay, so 1 dot here. 0001 0000 dot 000000 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so one more. 01, right? So that's the first usable host IP address. And then it's 2, then it's 2, which is 11, right? Okay, just keep going. And in the problem, I said, what is the last usable host IP address, right? So how can you find the last usable host IP? What's the best way? Any volunteer? So what is the best way to find the last usable host IP address? Anyone?
Turn all the zeros to 1 on the right side.
Yes, it's kind of, yeah, you're like 90%, yes, like 95%, yes, your answer is like 95% correct. So, he has an idea, definitely. So what you can do it is, when I say find the last usable, right, you always...
-1, sorry.
Yes, -1, good. That's why I said 95%. But okay, so when I ask you to find the last usable host IP address, you always find what? Broadcast address. Right? And then once you find the broadcast address, just -1. Then that's the last usable host IP address. So now, let's just find the broadcast address, which is the last one, right? Which is 172.1.0001, right? And the rest of them is 1. So it's going to be 1111 dot 11111111. So we know that this is 255, right? So by the way, this is broadcast address. And the last usable host IP address is, of course, 172.1.00011111 dot, right? And you know what? This is 254, right? So the last one is just 254. But if you want to say binary format, then it's 11111110, right? Which is 254, right? So now this is our last usable host IP address, right? Or sometimes that I can omit this usable. So this is like the last host IP address. I just want to emphasize the reason that I use usable is I just want to emphasize that broadcast address cannot be used for the for the host address. But sometimes I can omit this, right? Okay. Anyway, so now this is our answer, right? This is our answer, and then so we have to convert into what? Decimal number, right? So never put, like when I ask you what is IP address, don't put binary. Okay, don't you put your answer in the binary format. All is decimal. So, because when I ask for the IP address, okay, so 172.1 dot, and then what is it? This one, right? Which is the third octet. What is a 001111? What is it? Anyone? Please. I need a volunteer. I'm too old to calculate this.
31.
31, thank you. Thank you so much. The 31 dot, and then this is like 254. Okay? And so what is the answer? 31, right? Okay, so once again, the answer is D, right? Okay. Okay, now the next one. Next one is that this is IP address, and what is the third usable host IP address? So what is given, right? Oops. So what is given is the network address is what? Hold on. The IP address given is, by the way, this is non-natural boundary. This is non-natural boundary case. And 192.168.1.0, right? And then the subnet mask is 255, 255, 255, 224. 255, 255.255.224. So if you look at this is like, we never really seen this before, right? But now we know that subnet mask does not have to be at the end, at the natural octave boundary, such as 8, 16, and 24, right? So this is 255.000, right? And this one is 255.255.00, and this one is 255.255.255.0, right? But this one is okay, this is like a simple case, right? Everything, all the class, all the IP addresses are classful, and at the same time, the subnet mask ends at the octave boundary, 8, 16, and 24. But this is not the case, right? And that's why we call it non-natural boundary, right? So now, we have to convert this into a boundary format. So 224 is what? Convert it 111.0.0.0.0.0. Okay? So now, let's just 192 that. So I know that I have to pay attention to the fourth octet, right? So 121.68.1 dot, okay? And then this is like 255.255.255 dot, right? Now it's 1110.0.0.0.0, and this is 0. Okay? And where the 1 ends? Right here, right? So now I can draw the line. Okay? So left side is network portions, and the right side is host portions, right? And now, let's just create the IP table. So for the network address is same. Network portion, not the network. So 1 dot, right? And then 0, 0, 0, right? And then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, right? So I know that this is my network address. And then the next one, because see all the, like everything is a 0, right? In the host portions. And that's why it's a network address. And just like I said, this is like a second definition, right? Of course, the first definition is what? The very first IP address in the IP table. And the second definition is the address, right, which has all 0 in the host portions. So that's like another definition. And the next one is what? 1 dot 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, what? 1, right? Oops, sorry. You know what? Yeah, so, okay, good. 224, okay. And then the next one, right? The next one is, this is like first usable. And I think in the problem I asked the third usable. So this is relatively easy. I think my question was not really good. So, but anyway, so 192.168.1 dot. And this one is 0, 0, and this is 1, right? And then the second usable host IP address is 2, and then third one is just 3. So like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, which is 2, and then okay 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, what 1, 1, right? So that's a 3. So that's our third usable IP address. Okay, I think it's not a really good problem. I should ask you to broadcast address instead of a third usable. But anyway, the answer is this one, right? 1.3. Okay, by the way, before you leave, okay, this is 1.3. Before you leave, I should ask you, instead of a third, I think the problem should be like this. What is the broadcast address? So that's I think I should, it's too late to change my problem, but instead of a third IP address, I should ask you to, what is the broadcast address? Or like last usable or something like that. Okay, anyway, so what is the broadcast address? The broadcast address is 192, so it's just the last one, right? 168.1.000, and everything is 1. And the host portion is right, everything is 1. Right? So that's the broadcast address. So if I just convert into the decimal number, 192.168.1. Okay, anyone? Please, any volunteer? Wouldn't
it just be 192.168.1.31?
Is that 31? Is that 31?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2.
Thank you so much. So is it, what did you say? Is it 31?
31?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a 31. So that's the broadcast address. And by the way, I'm getting old. So I need volunteers like you. Thank you. I cannot really compute this. Now, you guys are young, right? So, okay. So that's a broadcast address. Any question? Okay, by the way, just before you submit your attendance quiz, I think this is the answer. So D and D. And then make sure that you submit. Now,